So, you want to make it to the NBA? Cool. Maybe you've been crossing up your friends at the park, hitting fadeaways on 8-foot rims, and telling yourself you're the next Jordan or LeBron. That's adorable. But let me break it to you. The league doesn't care about your park highlights. It doesn't care about your mixtape against kids half your size. The NBA will chew you up, drop you on the bench, and then fine you for being late to practice. Because getting here isn't about looking flashy on Instagram. It's about surviving when the gym's empty, your legs are dead, and the coach is still yelling for one more sprint. Still here? Good. That means you are ready to walk through the 6 brutal steps to becoming one of only 450 players in the entire world who get to call themselves NBA. Step 1. Start young. Come on, you knew this was coming. I mean, if you think your NBA journey starts in high school, you're already late. Now, most pros were dribbling before they could spell their names. But don't panic if you didn't start that young. Legends like Hakeem Olajuwon and Joel Embiid didn't pick up a ball until they were teenagers. It's possible. But know this, if you're late to the game, you're sprinting uphill. Every hour you slack, someone else is already on the court putting in reps. So my advice is to start early. Okay, so where do you actually start? If you're a kid, it's your local YMCA League, AAU team, or even a school program if you've got one. If you're older, hit open gyms at community centers or rec leagues. The point isn't that you need Madison Square Garden, it's that you need reps, competition, and eyes on you. Start small, start local, but start organized. Because playing pickup in your driveway is fun, but it won't get you noticed. Early on, you've got to figure out who you are on the court. Are you the floor general running plays like Chris Paul, the high flyer dunking on everyone like Ja Morant, or the big man who sets bruising screens and grabs every rebound like Shaq in his prime? Picking a position early helps. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. Each one comes with its own grind. But don't stress if you switch later. Plenty of stars reinvented themselves. Giannis wasn't the Greek freak overnight, he grew into it. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. The fundamentals matter more than your highlight reel. Ball handling, shooting form, footwork, defense. The boring stuff. Everyone wants to be Steph Curry pulling up from half court, but Curry spent thousands of hours shooting when nobody was watching. You don't earn the logo threes until you've mastered the free throws. And don't forget toughness, not just physical, mental. Coaches will tell you you're too slow, too short, too soft. If you crumble at that, forget about it. The ones who make it build armor early, on the court, in their head, and in their chest. Survive this stage and you're not just hooping anymore. You're building the foundation for every level ahead. Now, let's move on. Step 2. High school. This is where the real separation starts. Every town has a kid who can dunk in warm-ups or drain threes in the park. But high school ball? That's the first real filter. And here's the catch. Books matter just as much as buckets. You can average 25 a night, but if your GPA tanks, the NCAA will toss your application faster than a bad shot. Recruiters don't just want hoopers, they want student athletes who can actually stay eligible once they hit campus. Now on the court, get varsity minutes as early as you can. Freshman year if you're a freak, sophomore if you're locked in. Every game, every quarter, every possession is film for recruiters. College coaches, scouts, and AAU connections who decide who gets a scholarship. They don't just want numbers, they want consistency. And don't be the one-dimensional guy. If your team needs it, play both ends. Guard the other team's best scorer and run the offense. Show you can hustle, defend, rebound, and do the dirty work when the spotlight isn't on you. This is also where the weight room becomes your second home. Strength, speed, conditioning, because coaches aren't scouting raw potential, they're scouting who can handle a 6'8" forward breathing down their neck right now. Oh, and forget prom king. Friday nights are for making highlight reels. Your job is to stack clips that get passed around on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. Because trust me, college scouts are watching. Do that, and you'll have recruiters circling, college coaches, scouts, and AAU connections who decide where you land next. Because if you've nailed it here, you're not just a high school baller anymore, you're on the radar for college basketball. And that's the real proving ground. Step 3. College basketball, the proving ground. So, you've survived high school hoops, stacked your highlight reel, and actually got noticed. That alone already puts you in rare air. Only about 3 to 4% of high school players ever make it onto a college roster. And if you're in Division I, that's the top 1% of all hoopers worldwide. Congrats! You're officially inside the funnel that leads to the NBA. But here's the reality check. College ball isn't high school with nicer jerseys. The speed is faster, the bodies are stronger, and the playbooks are thicker than your math textbook. Every possession feels like a test, and every mistake is caught on film for scouts to rewind. Your first battle is simple but brutal. Earn playing time. Coaches don't care about your mixtape anymore. They care if you can run their sets, defend without fouling, and buy into the system. Weight room numbers are cool, but scouts aren't drafting your bench press. Game film is king. And don't just keep your head down in the locker room. Build relationships with your coaches, trainers, and staff. Because guess who NBA scouts call when they want to know if you're serious or just hype? Those people. Need proof? Just look at the legends. Michael Jordan didn't become Air Jordan overnight. He sharpened his game at North Carolina and hit the shot that won them the national championship. Zion Williamson had all the hype in high school, but it was his one dominant season at Duke that sealed his ticket to the NBA. Off the court, the grind is relentless. Early lifts, film sessions, cross-country travel, classes, late-night practices, all while trying to keep your GPA alive. Remember, the NCAA isn't giving you a break just because you dropped 30 last night. If you can't handle it, you'll blend back into the thousands of hoopers who never got past this step. But if you do, you're in the rare few who prove you belong in the grind, and that's exactly why you're still here watching. Which brings us to Step 4. Catching the eye of NBA scouts college ball got you battle-tested. But now, every game is an audition. The bleachers aren't just full of students and superfans, they're sprinkled with men in polos holding clipboards, stopwatches, and iPads. These are NBA scouts, and their job is simple. Find the next big star, or the next reliable role player who can run the floor without embarrassing himself on TNT. Your mission is to make them notice. Big games matter. Conference championships, March Madness, rivalry nights, that's the film they rewind. That's the tape that can turn you from just another guard into, we need this kid on draft night. And then comes the NBA Combine or your pro day. Think of it like a basketball version of a job fair, except instead of shaking hands, you're showing off your three-quarter court sprint, lane agility/shuttle, vertical jump standing, and max, wingspan, hand size, and shooting drills. Every tenth of a second, every inch on your vertical, every shot you take, it all gets written down and passed around front offices. One stumble, one bad shooting day, that can cost you millions. But if you shine, you leapfrog names who were ranked ahead of you for years. And don't think scouts are only watching the dunks. They're watching body language. They're noting how you respond when a shot bricks, or if you sulk when you get benched. They're asking, is this guy coachable? Is he a locker room asset or a headache? Because here's the truth. The NBA isn't just looking for the next LeBron or Steph. They're also looking for the next reliable 3-and-D wing, the hustle guy who takes charges, the role player who can drain a corner three when it matters. There's value at every tier. If you show, you can fill it. So, let's say you prove to the scouts what you're made of. This is it, the night every hooper dreams about. The NBA Draft. Your name, called under the bright lights, Adam Silver shaking your hand, and a fitted cap that probably doesn't fit. But here's the cold reality. Only about 60 players get drafted each year. Out of millions who pick up a basketball, only 60. That's not even 1%. So what if you don't hear your name? Doesn't mean it's over. You can still grind your way in as an undrafted free agent. Summer League, G League, two-way contracts, these are the backdoors players like Fred VanVleet and Austin Reeves kick down to carve out real NBA careers. Your rookie contract might not be life-changing compared to superstar deals, but even the league minimum, around $1 million a year, is proof you've made it to the top 1% of the sport. The average NBA career? Just about 4 to 5 years, which means every dribble, every possession, every decision is survival. Draft night isn't the finish line, it's the starting bell. You went from chasing the dream to defending it because now there's a line of hungry players behind you waiting to take your spot. Step 6. Survive and thrive in the league. You made it, not just into the NBA, but into the hearts of fans. You're more than a player now. You're a symbol. Kids are wearing your jersey, companies are begging for your signature on a shoe deal, and highlight reels are looping your plays every night on SportsCenter. But here's the hard truth. Staying at the top is harder than getting there. Michael Jordan didn't become MJ just by talent. It was an obsession. LeBron James didn't last 20 seasons at the highest level by accident. It was discipline, recovery, and consistency. Kobe Bryant didn't build the Mamba mentality because it sounded cool. He lived it every single day. The money's flowing now, tens of millions in contracts, endorsements that double it. You're set for life if you play it smart. But for every LeBron, there's an Allen Iverson, who made over $150 million and still filed for bankruptcy. The lifestyle can eat you alive if you don't control it. Your job isn't just to score points anymore, it's to stay healthy, stay relevant, and stay hungry when you're already full. Legends aren't remembered for one great season. They're remembered because they adapted, they worked harder, and they found ways to dominate when others got complacent. So, you've made it to the NBA. That's 4 jerseys now. UFC gloves, boxing gloves, NFL pads, and NBA sneakers. What's next? Formula One? Navy SEALs? Maybe even astronaut training? Drop your dream in the comments and I'll break it down, step by step.